Hey scholars, it's Miss Yabut here, and happy Hat Day! Ooh, I'm seeing some really cool hats. I can't wait to check them out during office hours and social lunch today. Scholars, I was so impressed with your hard work on yesterday's Illuminate quiz. If you think you did a great job, can you give me a high five? Nice work. Friends, today and tomorrow we are working on our very last text, practicing how to find the theme. Can you say, oh man? Good. You should be experts by now, but can you remind me, what is theme? Tell me. Great. Friends, because we've been working on themes so much, I bet you can handle today's longer text today. Say, bring it on. Today, we get to read two really cool fables. Some of them you might have heard before. And instead of drawing our S2RY planners today, friends, we are going to show all of our work right in our online document planner. Everyone say, whew! Over the past couple weeks, you have become such experts in typing your evidence in your planners. So we're just going to use that tool today. Remember that in order to pull up our assignment, it's always under your work. The first text we'll be reading is The Frog Prince. Remember to show me a thumbs up or thumbs down if you hear evidence for STORY. Got it? Let's read. Passage 1. The Frog Prince. Once upon a time, there lived a king. If you showed me a thumbs up for character, go ahead and pat yourselves in the back. Yes, we heard about the king. Now, let's add that to our planner. It's at the end of this text. So I'm going to scroll down past my text and go to characters. The king. Great. Let's read. He had beautiful daughters, but the youngest was the most beautiful. Near the king's castle, there was a dark forest. You've got it. We heard a setting. Near the king's castle, there was a dark forest. Let's add that to our planner. Great. The youngest daughter went out into the forest and sat beside a fountain. Scholars, I heard this character, the youngest daughter, again, so I'm going to highlight that piece of evidence and add it to my planner. I know from my schema that the youngest daughter of a king is probably called a princess, so I can just write princess in my planner. Let's keep reading. She threw her golden ball up in the air and caught it. It was her favorite toy. As she threw the ball up in the air for the second time, it fell into the water. It vanished before her eyes. She cried and cried because she had lost her favorite toy. That doesn't sound good, scholars. From the water, she heard a voice say, "What is the matter, fair child?" She looked into the water and saw a frog. Was that a thumbs up that I just saw? Scholars, go ahead and pound it. Right. We just heard a new character, the frog. Great. Let's keep reading. "I am sad, for I have lost my golden ball," she said. "Do not cry," pleaded the frog. "I will help you, but what will you give me in return?" "Whatever you wish," she answered. "I wish to be your friend and sit by you at the table and stay by your side at night," he said. It sounds like we've heard the frog's motivation. He wants to be the princess's friend. Let's add that to our planner. Great, scholars. Let's keep reading. "Of course," she said. "I promise that I will be your friend if you bring me back my golden ball." Scholars, it sounds like we just heard the princess's motivation. She wants her ball back and wants the frog to get it for her. Let's add that to our planner. The princess wants her ball back. If you need to pause the video to add that, do that now. Great, friends. Let's keep reading. So the frog swam down and found her ball. Right after he handed it to her, she ran away without the poor frog. Friends, does it sound like the princess kept her promise? That sounds like a what part of SURY? Yes, a problem. So the princess promised to be the frog's friend to get her ball back, but doesn't want to keep her promise. Go ahead and pause the video and make sure that we've written that down. Great, friends. Let's keep reading. The next day, as she was eating her breakfast, she heard a voice at the door. "Princess, open the door for me." There at the door was the poor frog. She slammed the door and went back to her breakfast. The king, who saw how frightened his daughter was, asked, "What are you so afraid of?" "Father, there is a frog outside. I lost my golden ball and he found it for me. I promised him that I would be his friend. However, I did not think he would come and find me. Friends, when I'm reading this dialogue by the princess, this kind of tells me that the princess really just cares about herself and not about her promise to the frog, even though he helped her. I think the princess's character trait is selfish. Let's add that to our planner. Pause your video and write that down. Great. Let's read. The frog called out again, "Princess, open the door for me." Then the king said, "Young daughter, you must keep your promise." So the princess did as her father commanded. What new information did we learn that we can add to our planner? Tell me. Yes, the king's advice to his daughter that she should keep his promise tells me he's pretty honest. And it sounds like the princess is attempting to resolve her problem. Even though the princess didn't want to keep her promise, she followed what the king said. Let's add those to our planner. The king is honest, and the princess tries to follow the king's orders. Go ahead and pause the video to write the king's character traits and our attempts to resolve. Great. Let's keep reading. At the table, the frog said, "Let me share your food, and then I will go to your room to sleep on your pillow." She cried and cried as she did not want that nasty frog sharing her food or sleeping on her pillow. Friends, it seems like we've heard the princess's perspective about the frog. How does she think or feel about the frog? Say it so I can hear it through my computer. Yes, she's scared and probably feels disgusted by him. Let's add that to our planner. Let's keep reading. Her father grew angry and said, "The frog helped you, so you must be kind to him." She did as she was told. Another attempt to resolve. Following the king's orders. The frog slept on her pillow for 3 nights in a row. Much to her surprise, when the princess woke up after the 3rd night, the frog had turned into a handsome prince. He looked into the eyes of the princess and told her, "A wicked witch put a spell on me, but the spell has now been broken because you let me sleep on your pillow." Instantly, they fell in love and were married the next day. They lived happily ever after. So let's think, friends. When the princess kept her promise, did that attempt to resolve work? Yes! In the end, they fell in love and lived happily ever after. Now, I want to know, what lesson did the princess learn? And what can we as readers learn about the whole world? I'm pretty sure we usually don't see frogs that talk, and we have to be nice to them. So, how does that apply to me? Scholars, you will have about 2 minutes to write down the lesson the princess learned and the theme in your Y box. If you need more time, click pause on the video as you type. We'll come back together and check our lesson learned and theme. Get ready and go! 10 more seconds. And time's up, friends. I think that the lesson that the princess learned is that keeping her promise to the frog, even though she didn't want to at first, actually had a reward. And the theme was, you should keep the promises you make. If you had a theme that was close to that, show me a yes. Nice work, friends. Now, let's answer a question that will look very similar to our exit ticket today. What conclusion can be made about the lesson or moral of the story? Write a race response. Friends, this is easy peasy. Can you tell me, how would I start this race response? Yes, the theme or moral of this story is, I always want to make sure that I restate my question. Now, my answer, that you should keep the promises you make. I have my R, my A. Now I need to include my context and my evidence. Cite my evidence. First, my context. When she didn't want to keep her promise, the king said she should be kind to the frog. This leads me to my evidence from the text. Then it said, much to her surprise, the frog had turned into a handsome prince. Notice how my evidence always has quotation marks. Now, I need to explain my evidence. This reveals that because, don't forget because, the princess was kind, she was rewarded with the prince, and because she kept her promise. Friends, this is a race response, and this is the expectation for your exit ticket today. It's a little bit different. We will not have a separate Google form. After you are done annotating passage 1, the Frog Prince, with highlighting your evidence and finishing this STORY planner we did together, then you need to continue scrolling to passage 2. You will read and annotate passage 2, the lizard and the mosquito, by highlighting evidence for STORY and writing that evidence in this planner. Your exit ticket is going to be at the bottom. Again, for passage 2, what conclusion can be made about the lesson or moral of this story? Write a race response. Scholars, don't forget to click Turn In at the top and also click Turn In here. Again, you do not have an exit ticket here. Your exit ticket is at the very bottom of your planner. I can't wait to see what great themes we come up with at home today. Till next time, scholars, have a great day.